YouTube, so I can actually start Westone week now. Although I think it's Saturday, so maybe I don't know, however it works out. Now I've got mics set up and hopefully working quite well. This should be the centre speaker. There should be one up there and one up there. So start off with one of my favourite guitars. If these were more readily available, this would be what I would be suggesting you get if you're looking at a guitar. It's kind of not unlike a wee red Roadster, which is also one of my favourite guitars, as in it's that magic moment where at what point, keeping a guitar quite basic and cheap, can you end up with a really good guitar? And it kind of, this is just beyond that line. So this is a Concord H from 1983 Westone. I've just noticed those tuners are the same ones I've just put on, the same go-to ones I put on Ronnie's Hofner yesterday. Yeah, so this is Concord. The Thunder, which is a bass there, is basically was a cup. I think it's 81, the first Thunders, so they're a wee bit before this. They're pretty much this shape, although I'm not sure. I think they do actually have this Strat Tech contour on them. You know, the Thunders are normally they've got the strips of wood down the centre, so the Thunder 1 bolt on neck, Thunder 2 is a set neck, Thunder 3 is a through neck, but they're basically this shape. So what I think happened in 82, they brought out a Stratty one, because Thunder's Gibson scale, but it's got splittable humbucker, so you get Fender sounds out of it, but it's got like a Fendery type hardtail bridge. But it's basically a Gibson-y one, so they made a Fendery one, so it wasn't quite this shape. It was the same shape as my other yellow one, which I will fix eventually. The base is kind of wider here, same shape as a Paddock, the Concord for the 1982, so it's kind of thinner here and wider here. And that was their Stratty one, so it's 25.5 inch scale, Strat tremolo, normally scratch plate and 3 Strat pickups, but the H version, which is this one, has 2 humbuckers. So what we've got is I think it's an alder body. It's not basswood. It's I think it's alder. Got a one-piece maple neck, and the neck is what makes a guitar. I think the neck on this is fantastic. It's got skinny frets, Matsumoku square type switch tip here, 2 MMK45. In this guitar, they're called the Hammer pickups. Oh, yellow hammer actually goes quite well with it. I think it was originally 2 volumes and a tone, but I've made it a volume and 2 tones. There's a switch here for coil splitting both of them, and there's a phase switch, which actually knocks. It works. I never really understood how it works. I've never seen this done before in any other guitar, but this was the way it was wired, or this is the way it was wired when I got it. What was left of the wiring. So it knocks. If you're just on the bridge pickup, it actually phases one of the coils with the other one, so you can be on the bridge pickup and knock it out of phase with itself, which is a novel way of doing it. Why not? Normally you would put the phase between the 2 pickups, but no, just put it between the 2 coils in the pickup, which means you get all sorts of phases. That switch is a little bit crackly because I never use it. Yeah, so that's a bridge pickup. That's it in humbucker. And this does have Elixir strings on it, but they must be cutting on for 5 years old, and they're still all right. Neck pickup, humbucker. Neck single coil. Yeah, so it's a really weird wee guitar. What was I going to say there as well? It's got a bullet truss rod. We like that. The last couple of days I've been playing these, which basically any part of any of them costs more than this whole guitar cost. This is all stock apart from it only came in black or red. So if you've got this, it's black or red, unless you painted it yellow, which I painted it yellow. It made it what it is. I also got this yellow submarine guitar strap, and I bought a Beatles set of stickers. And my plan was to have in the yellow submarine windows, it's got like the 4 Beatles in the windows. And I thought, oh, it'd be pretty cool having the 4 windows of the submarine there. So I put them on a guitar, didn't like it, took them off almost immediately, and just decided that actually it doesn't really need to be a yellow submarine guitar. But I do really like this layout. I don't need the phase switch, but I do like and I don't need the extra volume control, but 2 humbuckers, when you get that middle position, I mean, you can kind of hear the ceramic high outputness and doesn't have the jangle of a Strat. I mean, it's not bad, but okay. Maybe if I put it in single coil mode, it is. I mean, it's kind of acceptable. Telecaster, maybe? Bridges, the pickup's not the same. Which coil is it we're listening to, actually? Well, I suppose that's more sensible. It's the North coil we're listening to there. Which probably makes it a wee bit further away. It's probably a better sound, but you'd probably get a more Telecaster one if I flipped it round. I've had it in phase with itself. That's kind of got that sound of playing down a phone line. Remember you used to get phone lines? Or an AM radio? Remember you used to get AM radios? So to me it's feeling a little bit dull, but that's because I've been using these really expensive guitars. I wonder if that's spark pedal. This is a wee bit of drive. I'm getting a kind of feeling that the pickups they've got a tone control wedged on or something like that. Maybe it's just I'm used to using a bit more drive. It is of course possible I've touched the volume control. Nope. Give it the rat pedal, see what it thinks. What's that brrr going on? One of those things that after I've been playing the very, very, very expensive guitars, it's like I don't know if is a cheap one actually going to measure up. I mean, it sounds great, but it just doesn't have the depth. It's almost like you've got a tone control on, or you've got when you've got the volume control not quite at 10. It kind of when you put it up to 10, you get that all the extra bits. It's almost like it doesn't have that. Obviously, if you put enough distortion on it, no one's ever going to notice. What about the dirty channel on the amp? Give it some true tone. It doesn't seem to be missing anything now, does it? Also, having 10-year or probably nearly 10-year-old Elixir strings on it, probably not giving it much. Either that or my ears are going a wee bit funny. It went a bit funny before. I've got ear spray from the doctor, and I keep hearing things moving, so I'll give it a wee blast. I don't know, what am I doing with this? I do it 3 times a day. You see it come out the other side. Also, it's got a really bizarre smell of salt and vinegar chips, crisps, which is all right now that I know what it was. It was the first couple of days going, why do I smell salt and vinegar crisps when I haven't had any salt and vinegar crisps? So there you go. So it'll be interesting what this sounds like. Well, that's actually overloading the mic. Or getting there. Yeah, so I'm actually kind of, I don't know if this is really coming across, I'm kind of getting a bit disappointed with this guitar, because I love it. It's great. Actually, when I looked at it a couple of weeks ago, it was like, oh, playing this, and it was fantastic. Maybe just because I'm now being a little bit more into playing the expensive guitars, I'm now sitting there thinking, it doesn't really, is this going to sound, is it my ears? Have I stood on a pedal, or have I adjusted something by accident, or is this going to sound like it's not get the full tone as well? No, it doesn't. This is completely different. This has got, if anything, maybe slightly overly jangly, but it's a different beast. Probably to do with the strings being a bit dead, but I mean, really, that's the difference between your cheap pickups and your I suppose not cheap. I suppose it's like the Squier versus the Fender Masterbuilt. There is a difference. It's just there's just more of this. This sound has much more to it. More bass, more mids, more treble, everything, and it's louder. It's got that. I even turned it. And then I'm not yet ready to do a comparison between the Corker and the Kraken. It's like choosing your favourite kids. I don't have any kids, but if I did, it would be difficult to choose which one's your favourite. Because they're all brilliant, obviously. Let's have it as well. Completely different, but at the same time, it's just got a jangle. Yeah, so I mean, a really unfair comparison. And maybe a lot of people don't like those MK45 pickups, which I kind of always did, but I mean, I do have a tendency to play through the rat pedal, so, which I think kind of evens it all out. I just get, or maybe it's just a case of, is it really possible you're going to go into what was I don't know, these days this would be what, a £300 or £400 guitar, something like that. It's Japanese, so I don't know where. No, it would be the FGN. It'd be £500 for this guitar now. No, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not actually. It's softer sounding. It does just sound like there's less tone. It was El Cambo I was going for. also, I'm of the camp that believes that a spring tremolo is not as good as a hardtail, like sound wise. Two. I suppose the temptation with the guitar like this, I suppose a little bit like the Roadster as well, is to have a little bit of a superiority over it. Therefore, you can batter it a bit more and play it beyond what it should be able to do. Or in my head, that's working anyway. I do rate this guitar. I mean, the feel of the neck is amazing. If you've ever played an Ernie Ball Music Man guitar, which sounds ridiculous, and I do have actually let other people play them when I know someone that had one. The neck profile is almost exactly the same. People always say either the Ernie Ball necks, you either totally love them and you can't go for anything else, or you don't really like them. And this is basically feels whatever it is. This one and the Raider has it as well. The neck that feels like an Ernie Ball. But there's something about it. It's just got the concept of this guitar I really like. Really basic, really simple. Okay, it's the Thunder shape. It's quite odd to have a switch there. Normally you would expect a blade. A couple of humbuckers, just basic, one piece neck. Headstock, not hating it. Goes okay because it's a strange... I think I need to put a new output jack on this. It keeps wibbling. I'm wondering if maybe that's something to do with why the sound's not getting all the way through. Also the fact that these strings are very old. But I think I'm quite pleased I got into Westones when I did, because I'm not... Are they worth... They're probably priced now more at what they should... Well, I don't know, even then, you're comparing to something like this. Okay, this one's been painted in good conditions, probably a couple of £100 second hand. Maybe a bit more than that, maybe 300, because it's quite a rare one if it's in good nick. And you know, there's no comparison between this and like a £300 Squire. It's much better. But give it that. Maybe the pickups are maybe not exactly to your taste. They're a bit they're kind of they're designed to be usable. Is that no? I used to think they were too bright. I don't think bright's the problem. They're kind of distorting. They're clean. No, they don't. They're pretty good. But these, again, kind of like the DiMarzio Super Distortions, these are early 1980s. These are the pickups you want if you're running an amp. And if you're talking about the 80s, okay, people did have a pedal, maybe, you know, you maybe get a wah or a fuzz or something, but that's it. Pedal boards weren't the thing. So basically what you were doing, most people would be playing gigs with something like an H&H 100 watt 2x12 combo, your solid state thing, or a like a 50 watt Marshall type thing. And these pickups were designed to get distortion out of these amps, which weren't really meant to get. You know, if you go back to them, even the 1970s, so to say this is 1972, so let's say this is 10 years old. You know, fair enough, if you're a gigging musician, you're going to have a 10-year-old amp. I think 10-year-old amps in 1972, they didn't really have distortion. You had to overload them and turn them up loud to get drive. So pub players were still doing that. So that's what these kind of pickups are actually for. Running it through an amp like that at full bung, I bet you they cut through and work remarkably well. Probably less good for super clean sound, and that output jack's annoying me. It's getting another one. Where's that buzz coming from? Don't tell me I've got a buzz again. I think it's just this output jack. It's not, for some reason, I'm not hearing maybe my ears have unbunged a bit. I'm not hearing it being lacking in treble anymore. That's not a bad Telecaster sound now. Of course, and another thing which I wasn't really thinking about this, as I said, these switches are original. After 1984 or 1985, they got push-pull pots instead of switches. But in 1983, guitars didn't have coil splits, really. I mean, okay, some of your, people would add coil splits in your Van Halen type Super Strats. You didn't get them in normal guitars or sort of modern ones. So actually able to do a Gibson and, well, this would, I would say, is more of a Fender-y guitar with a scale length, but do acceptable Stratty telly sounds. Yeah, but it's also got humbuckers, so you can do Les Pauls. Aye. Quite a rarity, quite innovative, and quite a modern guitar. It's remarkably easy to play a guitar. Maybe with that amount of distortion and a guitar, like a mass-produced guitar rather than a hand-built behemoth. There wasn't really that much difference between the neck and the bridge pickup. I wouldn't really have said there. I think the pickups might be exactly the same, just that it's either there or there. Yeah, so I mean, if you see, keep an eye out for Westones if you can find one of these. I mean, this was I don't think it was the cheapest one. I think the only one I would worry about is the very cheapest ones, the ones that don't have the decent tuners. In saying that, you can buy a set of Wilkinson tuners for 15 quid and they're fine. But if it's got like the Westone Goto style tuners, then they are Gotos, so they're what I would put on the Kraken, basically. Apart from it says Westone in the back. And it's got a decent tremolo on it as well, like a solid steel block on it. It's just a Strat trem. Yeah. So, I think the guitar, if there's any Westones kicking about, if anyone's wanting to do any trading or anything, or the one that I don't have, I've never had that I quite fancy, is a Paduk, which is basically this neck, I think, but the body's that shape I was talking about, that bass I've got, where it's the old Concord shape, and it's got a Paduk or Paduak or whatever you call it, wood neck on it. I quite fancy one of them, but I mean, it's basically going to be the same guitar as this. That was one of you guys talking about it. They were working in guitar shops when that Paduk came out. The whole industry shat itself because it was like 150 quid or something like that, and it was a better guitar than the Fenders and the Gibsons that they had. They were 600 quid, and what the fuck is this Westone company? These Japanese were bringing out their own guitars. How dare they? And it was just like the Thunder was the same. The Thunder was totally revolutionary apparently at the time, because suddenly you're paying £199 or something, but you're getting a proper a giggable pro level bass. Whereas normally for like £100, or you got like your satellite plywood everything plastic tuners and stuff, and you for an extra £50 suddenly you're getting a guitar that's pro level. And you don't really get shit guitars the way you used to. Even the cheapest Harley Bentons and that you get now are, because hardware's cheaper to get, it does have tuners that are actually tuners, not made of plastic, and actual pickups and all that. But obviously I put this up against any Harley Benton. I've never made a guitar anything like, even worthy of being in the same room as something like this. Just in case people were getting a bit carried away, because I said I liked a Harley Benton the other day. It's like, that one's fine because it's basic and it was your luck. Still don't like them though. Westone for the win.